Having a parent conference.
Adding integers.
Wait, do we have small parent conference there?
No.
No? Yay! So next Monday is a free day? Good.
Yay, Alex topics.
Yay!
While you're home,
Yay!
missing math, you'll do Alex.
Yay! Yeah, next Monday.
Alright, so okay, we're writing this down. Adding integers using the rule. Heel, I'm over here. Right here. Thank you, Sam. Okay, so if I were to give you negative 72 plus 36, these pretty big numbers, what would you do?
Subtract.
Why?
Because the negative is bigger. Or, no, because the negative. Well,
Does anybody know why? Sarah? You make 0 pairs? Yes? I like it. I like it a lot. Anna, say it one more time.
One's negative and one's positive.
So they are different. So if they were smaller numbers, and this is how you first learn them, right? You first learn them making 0 pairs. So if, for example, you had 5 plus negative 3, in 6th grade, you did this, right? Okay. So we did 0 pairs, and then what was your answer? There's 2 positive left, so your answer is positive 2. And then some of you were given the advanced course of actually teaching you the rule, and yes, if the signs are different, you would subtract. Question, which number is bigger?
Negative 36.
36.
I was scared. So which one is bigger? 36. Okay, good. My ears did not hear anyone say negative 72. Because it's not bigger. It's not bigger. All right. Okay, so what's the rule? Let's start with if the signs are the same. We'll start with the same. If the signs are the same, you will what? If the signs are the same. So if I have negative 5 plus negative 2, are they both the same sign? Yeah, they're both negative, right? This is a negative, this is a negative. So what do you do if the signs are the same? You're going to add. You will add. And what do I do with the sign? So will this be positive 7? No. What is our answer? Negative 7. So what happens to the sign? It stays. And keep the sign. Okay? So if the signs are the same, you will add and keep the sign. So if you learned the rule last year, fantastic. If you didn't learn the rule, here it is. This is the rule.
I think she gave us a song.
Oh yeah, she gave us a song.
Mm.
Yeah, she gave us a song about it.
Same sign and
Yeah, same sign.
different sign subtract.
Different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the one with
Didn't
more,
she?
then you'll be exact.
Yes, the one with
Damn,
more.
Gregory.
Good. Very good. It is it's the row. It's to the tune of row your boat.
She said she'll give us extra credit if we made that her ringtone. I don't know.
She made her kids
Nice.
of us singing it.
Use a song to remember the pattern. So here it is. I like the use of the word more, right? Not bigger. It's not a bigger number. Okay, so what's negative 5 plus negative 4? Negative 9. So these two are negative, so the signs are the same. So what we mean by signs are that. Are they negative or are they positive? So they're both negative, so you're going to add and keep. We like to use this. We like to use the rule when it's really big numbers like -64 and -12. Again, check the signs are negative, both negative. This is a negative. This is a negative. So it's going to equal. Very good. So we keep it a negative. So in addition, right, because every rule is different. It's different for subtraction. It's different for multiplication, division. For addition, if they're both negatives, you're going to keep it a negative and you're just going to add. Now in second grade, you learned 2 plus 2. Little did you know you were already using the rule in second grade. What kind of number is this? This is a positive and this is a positive. So in second grade, you learned that if there are 2 positives, you're going to add, and 2 plus 2 is 4. It's also a positive. So you've been actually using this rule since elementary school. You just didn't realize it. With positive numbers, do we put a little positive sign on there? Nope, it's invisible. It's not there. Okay, it's not there, but it's there. It's there. It's always there. All right, now what's the second part of the rule? So this is the first part. If they're the same, add and keep. If they're the same, add and keep. What's the rule number 2 for this? Yes. If the signs are different, you will, so what do we do if they're different? Subtract. And what? How do I determine what my sign is at the end? Okay, you keep the sign with the one with more, yes.
Oh wait, no. This, never mind. The rule does not apply to this. Never mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
Yeah,
Alright.
it's for multiplication and division.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different.
Very different.
And guess what happens? Kids love to use that rule more than this rule. If the signs are different, you will subtract and keep the sign of the one with more. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Keep the sign of the one with more. Is that?
Mhm.
Keep the sign of the one with more. So this is where it gets like a little tricky because it's the keep the sign of the one with more. Not the one that went first, not the one that went second. It's what you have more of. And it comes with like the 0 pairs, because if you're creating 0 pairs, whatever you have more of, those are the ones that are not circled. That's the stuff that's left over. So, all right. So for example, -72, was that the problem I wrote first? Yeah, -72 plus 36. So we're focusing. Because if you didn't get it in 6th grade, you got to get it like today. This one's negative, this one's positive. So you see how they're different? So you're going to subtract. Now feel free to subtract on the side. Borrow. What do you get when you subtract? 36. Now go back and look at your problem. You have 72 negatives and 36 positives. What do you have more of? More negatives or more positives? You have way more negatives, so your answer is negative 36. Okay. What if I give you -50 plus 100? Are they the same or are they different? This is negative. This one's positive. So if you're going to subtract, what's 100 minus 50? 50. Now, do you have more negatives or do you have more positives? More positive. So you just leave your answer alone, right? We don't usually. I'll write it in pencil because I'm going to erase it in a second. We usually don't write a positive sign there. We don't. But it's there. You just don't see it. It's usually just invisible. Okay? Are we okay? Any questions on this? I'm hoping that you're coming in already knowing this from good old elementary. Sixth grade. Which, by the sounds of it, you guys are coming in. Alright. Are we okay? Pretty easy. Yay, us. Okay.
Woohoo. Forgot to record.
I know, all of this useful information. So, now we have fractions with negative numbers. Carry your negatives over. Carry your negatives over. There was 2 negatives. The bottom 2 were negatives. All right. Who wants to walk me what they did next? Because there's 2 different ways of doing it. So, what way, Bruce, did you do? What did you do first?
I added the negatives together, and then I subtracted the negatives and the positives, and got -1 over 18.
Okay. So that's one way of doing it. So one way of doing it is taking these 2 negatives and adding them together. What's -3 plus -12? -15. So you got -15 over 18, and then you deal with the different one. So yeah, -1 over 18. How many of you guys got -1 over 18 before we did? Good. Very good.
I got 5 over 18 for the first one, but because I didn't see the second negative.
Good, as long as you can catch your mistakes before you plug them into the test. All right. Let's do another one like that. I kind of liked it.
It's fine. They're easy. It doesn't matter because as long as you have common denominators, it's easy.
I'm running out of space. I don't want to go to the next page.
Okay, -1/2, 2/5, -3/4. What does 2, 5, and 4 have in common? 20. So everybody set it equal to 20. We just did the hard work for you. So common denominator is 20.
Okay, I got it. This is fun.
Who wants to give me the first fraction? Oh, that's easy. -10. What is 2/5 turned into?
8 over 20.
And then -3/4?
-15 over 20.
All right. I think the easiest would be to add the 2 negatives, right? So if I add the 2 negatives, I would get -25 over 20, and then I would add the 8 over 20, which are different signs, so you would subtract. What's 25 minus 8? Yeah. I like these. All right. Are we okay? Okay, let's try these problems. Can I put these all on your test?
Not sure.
Wait, for the uncommon denominators, don't you just...
So would you deal with this problem?
We'll turn it into a fraction.
You would turn one of them into a fraction or into
I would. Do you have more fractions or do you have more non-fractions?
non-fractions.
Non-fractions. So most of them are non-fractions. So I would turn the one fraction into a decimal. I would turn the one fraction into a decimal. Now, should you know what 1/4 is as a decimal? You should know it without even thinking. What's 1/4 as a decimal? What is it?
0.25.
Okay, good. 0.25. I don't want to hear all the other answers that were crazy. Let's forget about them. So 1/4 is really all right. So what do we get when we add the two positive numbers? Don't give up. What's 3 plus 0.25? Okay, are we going to add or subtract these two? Subtract. Which number goes on the top?
So the first number.
Okay, here's where it gets all complicated. This is where math gets hard. Because for your whole life, including with me, I would tell you the first number goes on top. The first number goes on top, right? I've even said that. I'm not sure if I said it in this period, but I have said it in the other periods. But for this one, because it's a negative, this is a positive.
All the negative.
No, not the negative. Don't call it a negative. I mean, it is a negative, but it's not because it's a negative. So look at it without the negative.
It's a smaller number.
It is a smaller number. Put the one with more on top. Put the one with more on top.
Oh wait, we have.
Yeah. So, which is the one that has more?
3.25.
That one goes on top. 2.5 goes on the bottom. The one with more goes on top. So this kind of goes against what you've been learning. Subtract. What do you get?
0.75.
5?
0.75.
Oh, you added. Are we supposed to add?
Nope.
No, this one's a negative, this one's a positive, so you have to subtract.
I added? What? I subtracted.
What?
Yeah, I subtracted. 0.75.
Okay, did he not say 5.75?
0.75.
I got 0.75.
I heard 5.
I heard 75.
I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, 0.75.
Okay, I heard 5, so that's why I was like, what are you doing? So that big problem ends up being 75 cents.
Yeah, $3.25 minus $2.05 that you get 75.
Yes.
$2.05 is how much it's
On.
cost for the day.
So here's your glimpse of this is 7th grade math.
Yours.
There you go. We finally did it. Week 8, and we're doing 7th grade math. Finally. Yeah. Well, instead of doing a worksheet, I'm giving you more problems here. This is your equivalent to your another worksheet.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Ben, did you write this down? Okay, what's the first thing we should do?
The fraction into a decimal.
Yes. And so we're doing that. Before I do, what is 3 over 4 as a decimal? Now it's a negative 3 over 4. So
Negative 0.75.
Can you just put negative 0.75?
yes. Okay. So negative 3 over 4 is equal to negative 0.075. So now what should I do next?
Add the
You add the negative 0.06 to the negative 0.75.
Yep. I would add, Ben, without our iPad, 3.06 plus 0.75. I would add those two. What does it give me?
3.81.
Wow.
Negative 3.81.
Negative, right? So I added the two negatives because we just reviewed. If they're both negatives, you're going to add. Now I have 8.2. So I have a positive 8.2 and a negative 3.81. What do I do?
You put the 8.2 on top and 3.8 on the bottom and then subtract.
We're going to subtract. You put the 8 on the top and the 3 on the bottom because 8 has more. So 8.20 minus 3.81. So do that if you haven't done so. And this is officially 7th grade math.
Yay.
I got 4. I got 4.39.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Yeah, so positive 4.39. So what is 7th grade math? 7th grade math is taking fractions and turning them into decimals. 7th grade math is adding negative and positive numbers together. So all of that combined in 7th grade math. So when did you learn how to change a fraction to a decimal? Sure. When did you start learning about adding and subtracting decimals? Sure, okay. And then you started learning how to add negative numbers? 6th grade. So in 7th grade, we just put it all together into one little.
Did this in 6th grade.
Oh, good. It was good.
We did?
Good job.
we did. Remember we did that?
Good job. Yay, Miss.
You know, Gregory totally like